enough to actually kill him. You will need a little bit more than just a Rubik, but Navi also picking up that Magnus fairly early on. Expect to have one of those pretty heavy right clickers over in the over in that safe lane. If you do really want to kill off an Omni Knight, then you should probably consider someone like an Ursa. You could also go for your pretty classic Slark Juggernauts. Maybe it'll be a little not you're going to be getting those kills, but for sure Navi going to be angling towards that kind of acceleration path, that Magnus. But Secret choose to ban out the Lina instead, looking now towards the mid lane or mid one. It was the only kind of not 4-position hero to be banned out, that Ember Spirit, just taking mid one out of his probably best hero.
I think the only team you actually first face Ember against is probably Team Secret. I don't think any other player is like as good and is as respected on that hero as mid one. So I'm not too surprised it's getting banned out, even though I feel like is it that good? I guess it is, since people are doing it, but I'm kind of still like hesitant on it. But I'm not sure what mid one will want now though. His options are, I think he can pick a lot. He plays a lot of different heroes, even in pubs. He doesn't even he plays anything almost. I wouldn't be surprised if they do something weird. Wraith King ban has been seen a little bit, but in second phase I feel like you probably ignore it and maybe fifth ban it if you're that worried about it.
5 seconds
A bit off, I think. I think the Tusk ban should come out here, honestly. Like you mentioned, I feel like that's a hero that they're focusing on carries right now, so we'll see what they do.
Turn to ban.
Only a couple of teams are really super eager to pick up a Wraith King. It is definitely a sweet spot hero where you need a critical mass of farm, and then you kind of make some big plays. If the game goes too long as Wraith King, yes, you're difficult to bring down, but it's really, really difficult to stay on your target just because it's a kind of a clunky melee hero. When the game gets too long, you don't have enough lockdown. So we see it picked up, I would say fifth every single time. I've maybe seen him fourth pick like once or twice, but very, very rarely. So yeah, interesting to see Navi take care of that hero. And the Terrorblade is completely understandable. You definitely do not want to play up against Terrorblade with Omni Knight. That does not sound fun to me. But Lina and the Troll Warlord do have access to the Tusk, though it will make their safe lane potentially a little bit weaker. They already have the sustain component from the Omni Knight. Maybe they should think about how they're going to hit buildings, or they're just going to get the Tusk because, well, we already talked about why Tusk is a good hero.
Yeah, we saw YapzOr as well. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. He was playing insane on that hero. Basically had every eye shot perfectly. I think he did like one mistake in like a 40-minute game, and that's pretty good then. So I'm pretty happy they're picking this up. I feel like it's also a hero that fits well with Omni Knight. Omni Knight's kind of like a stable laner, but he doesn't really, he can't get in on them, and he's kind of like he's kind of defensive because he can't really pressure that well. But Tusk can both. If they go on Omni Knight, he's very good at turning, but he also can catch up people, help Omni Knight catch those. The stray heroes that might be. So pretty quick pick, Bounty Hunter, and then from Navi, and then Juggernaut from Team Secret. So Team Secret are gearing up for a pretty good potential 5-man, but they don't have like a team fighter yet. So they're gonna need to get that as a 5th pick most likely. But so far they have a good push hero. They have some. They have everything except team fighter, I guess.
Still looking for that mid one hero for the Team Secret side. Sustain wise, they are set. So it does seem like the only thing they have to really be worried about is getting initiated upon Navi. With the Bounty Hunter, just kind of set everything up vision wise, and then gonna rely on the Magnus, I suppose, for initiation. Magnus definitely is better suited as the second one in the fight instead of just the first one in the fight. So I would say that Team Secret, as long as this last pick has any sort of relevant damage versus buildings, like a not puck type hero, then they should be able to just bulldoze these structures, really force Navi into these engagements. But Navi gonna go for the Bounty Hunter along with that Ursa. Ursa obviously a good matchup wherever he goes, really. If it's versus a Juggernaut, you're gonna have a good time. If it's versus an Omni, you're gonna have a good time as well. For the Bounty Hunter, it is gonna mean that Navi want to play this game a little bit more of a pick-off style, but again, lacking that initiation is a little bit concerning. Like, you are already going up against an Omni Knight, so and a Juggernaut, so track is not easy to stick. I'm not really sure if Navi have enough offensive power here to get through what Team Secret have defensively.
Yeah, I'm super interested in what Navi are gonna choose. I feel like their hero is harder to. I feel like they have a lot of options. They're kind of lacking in lockdown, but they don't necessarily need more either. They can kind of do with what they have if they pick a good, if it's a good hero. I think Hopwood was a pretty good ban. It's kind of like you can burst people even though they're spinning, and even if they're repelled, you can have to ultimate and kind of surprise kill them, which I think could fit Navi well this game. But they have a lot of time to think about this though, so I wouldn't be surprised if they use up most of it. There's like Puck left if you want more lockdown. You kinda lacking some power damage, but you have enough to make do. So that's how I feel like Navi has so many options.
Team Secret don't have the most in the way of stuns, so Dendi's Storm Spirit is definitely here that he is very comfortable with. It may put you at some sort of risk because Storm Spirit typically tends to have more bad matchups than some other heroes, so you will have to accept that if you decide to throw him towards the mid lane. But yeah, I mean, Puck, Storm, TA is still in the pool. TA is looking alright here.
I think there's so many options. Like you can go Storm, I think you can go TA, you can go. You could get an OD still if you want to. You can get Timber even if you want. Lina got banned, right? Yeah, Lina's not in there, but there's a lot of options, and I think they're gonna go back to something they like, which would be TA and potentially Timber. I feel like then they played a bit Timber lately, even though I don't think it's the best Timber game. It's decent at least.
Again, you kind of want to abuse the fact that Secret will struggle to lock these heroes.
Oh,
whoa,
so they are
okay.
changing it up.
Axe is like the complete opposite of all of those heroes that we just listed. So Navi definitely throwing a curveball here. And these lanes are going to be a little bit interesting for the Navi side. Now, Axe is definitely a good hero to have versus the Omni Knight, versus the Juggernaut, and Team Secret working with 3 melee heroes. So Axe and Ursa just getting into the mix with the Magnus, certainly very powerful. Actually, we have a crap ton of melee heroes here. We're going to have a lot of fighting. That's for sure. But for this mid lane now, mid one, as long as he has... Whoa.
Oh.
Okay.
Mid Jugger and carry Venge. Oh, this draft changed a lot the last two picks. I like how both teams finished. Actually, I really liked how they finished it. Venge, generally when you run Omni Knight and like Omni Knight, you want a stronger solo core than a Venge. But it's kind of good enough that you kind of mess with Navi's lanes more because they were like, okay, we pick Axe and he's great against Jugger and he's also good against most. But then Team Secret kind of throw this huge curveball with the Venge. So I feel like both teams were pretty happy about how it ended. Maybe Navi a bit like, oh, shocked, more shocked than Secret, but both teams have a pretty good shot here. I think. I don't think there's a clear out route. Maybe a bit later we'll see if there's like some kind of mechanic that's like very hard for one team to deal with.
Trying to think of if there's any way for Navi to really punish this this mid lane selection for Secret. Juggernaut played by mid one. You'd expect to go towards mid, as you would also the Magno. Connection failure, returning to matchmake.
That's
fine.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, we're good. But yeah, you know, maybe some switcheroos, but I don't really think it's really going to be any sort of relevant switch here. The Axe, I actually think has a pretty good set of matchups up against what Secret have. The last pick is not really a high range hero in that Vengeful Spirit, though she can maybe, if she gets enough farm, get that extra range component of the Dragonlance, then maybe try to keep herself safe. Navi just have this insane run at you type style, and if Secret aren't in position with the Tusk defensively or the Omni Knight defensively, then they're in a lot of trouble. But to their credit, YapzOr has been playing the Tusk to near perfection lately, and Shards up against all these melee heroes is going to be so hard for Navi to play around.
Yeah, we're gonna see how YapzOr perform. Both teams TP it out with their position 4 players. The strength of Axe last pick here is that he can solo kill both carries, which is very nice, like Blink Blade Mid. Both these carries do high, especially Jugger does very high damage with low HP. And Venge kind of depends on what you go. You can sometimes Venge goes like Threads and Dragonlance and they're super tanky, and it's kind of hard, but it's still a decent damage. So if Axe can find these heroes solo, he's very good at killing them alone. But there's good support as well, like Omni Knight and Tusk kind of wrecks, and also Venge can save the Jugger. So there's a lot of save potential for Secret, but if they're not in position, it's could potentially generally just snowballing, solo killing people everywhere.
The axe as a primary initiator is definitely one of the better ones if you're also going to have a Magnus on your team. Just you just call one guy, and then typically these low range heroes will try to group around that guy to save them, and then the Magnus and the Ursa will have all the opportunities and all the time in the world to really just wait for their moment to jump in. So for sure, Navi, it does seem like they have all the answers they could possibly want in as far as a full team fight is concerned.
I saw.
Once Nico gonna get into a fight, but it looks like it's gonna be a 3-1 split in favor of the Radiant here. So pretty nice win for the Secret side very early on, and MP actually, the Vengeful Spirit, usually going to be a safe lane farmer, going to be going up towards top along with the YapzOr only. Puppey is dealing with Nico right now, but CM going into an offensive tri-lane is certainly something that is not without risk. But actually, it's going to be lane swap-ups all across the board. Axe and Ursa both have a good matchup versus Midwan. They'll throw Pycat in mid, and Midwan already, you could see, kind of getting his ass kicked by the bear.
Yeah, this has become almost meta, I think, like swapping lanes insanely, like really trying to figure out, especially because there's a lot of Bounty and Ricky, like especially Ricky I think is very popular, and then you kind of scout, and both teams are trying to mind game and adjust accordingly, and this is kind of what ends up happening a lot of times. And I really like how Navi did it on the mid and bottom lane. However, top lane might be a very weird lane, and I'm not really sure how it's gonna turn out.
I would imagine this is going to be a fairly nice lane for the Navi side. I mean, these two heroes, Rubik and Magnus, don't really team up all that often. And Magnus is only level 1 right now, but being in the safe lane as the Magnus means that skewering into tower is a lot more feasible, especially when you have the Rubik to set that up as well. So Navi have that very, very deadly combo, and again, with these low-range heroes from Secret up towards top lane, may struggle to actually answer that if Biver actually gets a good telekinesis grab on one of these heroes. So right now, of course, it's not going to happen. Level 1 Fade Bolt, level 1 Empower, like it's not really their plan. But the Magnus should be doing just fine, I would imagine, and it is up to MP to play this lane fairly carefully. But we also have this bottom lane where things are going to be, I would imagine, very, very quiet. But it's always kind of foolish to ignore an Axe who's going up against another melee hero. Can definitely get kills here.
General kind of going for runes, kind of sacking the lane in a way. I'm a bit surprised he's doing this. I'm pretty sure that was not worth it. He had the lane in a very good position and kind of gave KheZu a free wave, and he got a bounty in return. Like, that's not the greatest trade. And I think he could have pressured the lane very hard by creep skipping, because KheZu couldn't get a stout at that point, and you can't really tank towers forever. Even though you have a heal, you're gonna run out of mana, and General is gonna outfarm you and get that Vanguard in lane very early probably then. But now it's a bit harder for General, I think. Oh, the MP top lane. Oh, what a nice skewer. That's probably first blood.
Got him on top. Kind of left alone. The Tusk was off lane for a little bit. And that's the threat, right? Like, that's the risk that you run when you decide to put a Vengeful Spirit and a Tusk. Not exactly a really deadly duo up in that top lane. And it is going to be an immediate switch here for the Secret Heroes. Omni Knight going to go up towards top. Venge going to go down towards bottom. It's slightly better for Secret, I would say, but still it's not something that they would feel incredibly comfortable with. They're getting into a fight with Dendi. That's probably not going to result into all that much. So Navi, I would say, still have advantageous lanes, especially this mid lane, where Pycat is not just beating mid one, but he's dumpstering him. It's not even close.
Yeah, this is a pretty rough start for Secret. I feel like they got not only our lane, but they kind of tried to greed as well, and then Navi managed to punish it even further. So pretty hard, and MP is gonna be on the bottom lane here against General and Sneko, and this could easily turn to kill. I think he might be dead. There's no supporting coming, no spins though until there.
MP will turn around for his combo. General caught in the shards, and Puppey's rotating in as well, but this is an Axe we're talking here. Mid one is also here. Everyone and their mom coming in. Sneko is not dusted, not sentry. Dust is on YapzOr the entire time. And they end up splitting their focus to try to get both and end up getting neither. Sneko is actually visible right now, hunting after that courier, but he's going to jack the bounty rune and be on his way. In the meantime, KheZu's dying up towards top lane. Got skewered in towards the tower. So Navi get away with absolute murder.
That was brutal actually. Navi got playing them. I think Secret made like small mistakes, but it's kind of a result what's happening that kind of bench is like level 3 against the axe level 5, so the one spin almost took like a third of her HP and it becomes harder to react because of that. But a bit misfocused by Secret as well. I think they should have committed for one. They should have decided instantly who to kill. I think they thought they could kill both because it kind of looked like that at the start, but then they kind of split focus for 1 second, and then General managed to just run into fog, and the dust was way too late.
Dust was just on the wrong person. Tusk was going for the axe instead of going for the bounty hunter. I think if you switch the target focus of just the Tusk, mid one, going to get out of there from Sneeko and Pycat, but still, this is not a great time for the Jug. 8 CS only versus the 37 kills and 14 denies of Pycat. I mean, people always say like, oh, if you expect Juggernaut mid, you can go for an Ursa and it'll be a nice little matchup there, but you don't expect to see a matchup that's this one-sided in these games, and Secret kind of were asking for it. Like, they could have just as easily given the Juggernaut always over towards MP, played a pretty standard game from there with, you know, any sort of generic mid lane hero, and avoided the situation altogether. But as you said, they're trying to greed out these lanes. So far, it's been working really, really poorly for them. Speaking of greed, KheZu's trying to grab a creep wave here. Luckily for him, Beaver is a little bit too slow to get that grab.
I think Beaver messed up a little bit there. He went for an auto attack where he should have just kept running, trying to lift. Not sure it would result in a kill. Puppey got caught by a taunt. This is how Spawn Tower is coming in. He doesn't have mana for Shuriken, so it might be a bit shop actually.
Yeah. There's an ultimate here on General, and he may get a second chop here. Here comes the Tusk. In response, there is no Walrus Punch, though. General still alive for right now. Has enough mana, but won't get it out before the shards come out. Now the dust is out. Onto Sneeko. They'll kill him off and then spin onto Beaver. Should be a 3 kill for Navi. I think mid one has this one in the bag, right? No Shrine with the Wave of Terror. They got him. Just barely, and Secret. They get 3 kills. And they only lose a CM. That is a small price to pay, and it's only level 3 CM at that.
Yeah, that was very good. That was lanes are all salvaged now. Even mid one is actually in a decent position now. He was in a horrible position just 30 seconds ago, but now he's actually doing okay. And General, kinda, I think Beaver maybe should have lifted bench into General, and then General used Haunt, but I'm not sure if you can like coordinate that well, honestly, in that situation. I thought they thought they would do a bit more damage, and you kinda, I kinda bought it as well as a spectator, and I see it's a bit easier for me to judge, but just a little bit there for miss, and Secret are in a pretty good position. They're still behind though. The lanes are not that good, especially MP. I think is gonna have a hard time making comebacks. He's kind of doing these rotations to make a comeback, and if they don't result in kills, it's gonna be really hard for him.
Really important for MP to get back in the game through getting kills. Same thing for mid one. Like, you have the level 3 spin, you have the Omni Slash, big damaging tools, and if they're not able to find openings, I mean, Juggernaut can somewhat just farm his way back into a game, just because he's just that type of hero. Vengeful Spirit can't really. We saw the other day MP on a Luna, who is definitely capable of power farming, but Vengeful Spirit is not the same. Dendi gonna throw an RP up towards top lane. Pycat has a double damage rune and Empower. And Omni Knight is going to be a splatter on the floor. Ursa, I mean, even though you said like mid one, yes, is recovering himself into the game. Secret are not doing anything assertive to stop this bear. He is out of control.
Yeah, Pycat playing really well. A lot of it's up to the nice laning decisions. I'm not sure who calls those lanes. Pycat is the captain, but not necessarily him who makes all the decisions. But whoever made them really knew what they were doing this game, and I think maybe Sonic could call them because he's kind of scouting them, you know, so he knows what's kind of happening a bit more clearer, even though everyone can see. Maybe he's the one thinking most about it, because he's the one that wants to rotate on the lanes, but he wants to set up the lane so he can rotate on them. But really nice for Navi there in the early game, and 3 cores on top of network for Navi. That's a good start.
Absolutely fantastic start when dealing with the Vengeful Spirit core and a Juggernaut in the mid lane. Again, Secret, we kind of expect to be the ones in the place that Navi are right now, but Navi still haven't even gotten off to their full pace of game. It is still a level 4 only bounty hunter, and he is just waiting for that track. Once he has that, for sure there will be a blink dagger on PyCat, and then shit is really gonna hit the fan for Secret.
Yeah, we're gonna see. Okay, KheZu is going mech, so I'm gonna see like if we see like, because now there's Midas meta, so you always wanna like at 10 minutes you wanna see like who's going Midas and who's not. Generally, you go Midas on Omni Knight, but you don't always rush it. Some people like getting mech, some people like getting like the buckler and then the Midas and then the mech. There's a lot of variation there, and some people just go like medallion and then Midas or finish solo quest into Midas. So it's pretty interesting to see here, but there doesn't seem to be any Midases being queued up so far. Then there's probably gonna be getting one, but
one on Dendy.
probably after the blink, yeah.
Blink first, Midas depending on how he feels afterwards. Seneko is wandering about, is gonna run into a CM. Gets frostbitten down, YapzOr's here with the dust, and Seneko is trapped right now. I don't really know if there's any way for Seneko to get himself out of here. Is there any other sort of Navi play happening in the meantime? It's like they were looking for it. It's not quite. PyCat being chased out by Mid-1 and MP. Gonna be cut off by YapzOr and Puppey. There is shards here. They catch him perfectly. A bear in a cage, but he's gonna turn around, try to go for Puppey. Magic Missile gonna slow him down. Mid-1 still has the Omni Slash. Final Fantasy VII all over PyCat. That'll be YapzOr grabbing a kill on the Ursa. A huge kill for Secret to take, and PyCat getting a little bit too overconfident. If you have a Blink Dagger, I would say, yeah, wander the jungle as the Ursa, but without that mobility, going in that deep is awfully risky.
Yeah, they wanted to be aggressive, and I understand why. It's a good decision, but generally it's not ready. He is 250 gold away from Blink right now, and he can't really go until he got it. You can't just take a chance and hope that you can get a good call. And then like if you die, you're gonna be so far behind. You wanna stay in a lane or stay in the jungle and get that, secure that item. And it seems like they're gonna force it again, so could be a bit risky for General going when he's so close to Blink.
Well, there is definitely enough damage here. The only issue is that MP smells something in the area. He's going to hide deep in the woods. PyCat's going to show himself, and General, I mean, I think he's close enough to his Blink Dagger that he feels like he has it pretty much locked up, and he can make some kind of aggressive plays, and the timings won't really affect him all that much. This camp should just be enough to get him towards that mark. And yeah, then for Navi, things are going to, again, explode out of control for his Team Secret, but until that actually happens, Team Secret actually doing a fairly good job. We have seen YapzOr make some pretty nice rotations. So far has landed every single set of shards. Mid-1 getting in there for some action as well, much needed given the current start of his Juggernaut game. Navi, Blink Dagger on Axe. He's gonna blink over MP. I don't think MP, he might figure it out just because he doesn't see Axe come out of there, but there's double Blink Dagger right now on Navi, so they're ready to make some plays.
Yeah, they probably gonna do a big smoke. I see Beaver has a smoke on him, so I'm expecting they all together mid and go for some aggressive smokes. They might wanna do, I mean, PyCat is also close to the Blink, so they could wait, but I think that's probably a mistake. PyCat might just wanna, I feel like maybe this play would be like you smoke and PyCat has to Roche and everyone else tries to go for kills. Or MP or Secret is
General with the call onto the Juggernaut. There's a snowball here. He gave him a little bit of extra time. Puppey's gonna let it loose with the ultimate, and RP lands on absolutely everybody. And they're gonna start getting torn through by PyCat, but still not dead just yet. Now the ultimate stolen by Biver is gonna turn things around. Mid-1 gets an Omni Slash, and we'll make it an even 3 for 3. As an Omni Knight's gonna wander in and just be like, hey, what's up, guys? Something happened here. That was actually a really, really good response from Team Secret, that they were able to, sacrifice some heroes, yes, but kill off PyCat, kill off Dendy, kill off the Axe, absorb the show-off of the 2 Blink Daggers, and all of that was without their Omni Knight.
That was crazy, actually, from both teams. That was pretty insane. Fast reaction from everyone, but what's surprising is that there's a huge RP, but Secret still win the team fight, even though they're missing a hero. That's a bit of a bad sign for Navi. And are they really gonna force it? I feel like that they are the team with longer cooldowns with the RP compared to Secret, who doesn't really have anything. I guess it's kinda even. Omnislash is pretty valuable as well, like in these early skirmishes.
Oh, PyCat. Guards, the wall, that is not tight, and PyCat should still have a way out, but they're gonna ignore him for right now and go for Seneko instead. Purification was stolen by the Rubik. Then we'll give him a couple of seconds of extra time, but definitely not enough. And no, now the swap back onto the bear, lift up onto the Vengeful Spirit. This time Omni is here, and we can already see it's giving them so much extra juice. MP will tank the Ursa like a boss, and Navi will throw away the Ursa yet again. Not a hero you can afford to lose this many times. Dendi, spot in the trees. MP is going to wave him just to mess with his Blink Dagger a little bit, but they can't make a play here. Onto Dendi. He has the Skewer out. 10-7 in Secret. Turns out when they actually have their full team, a lot stronger. I don't even know where KheZu was in that first engagement, but we could already see, like, Purification at this stage of the game, 15 minutes in, you gotta respect it. It just does so much, especially now with the mechanism.
Yeah, that was, I think Navi, especially Pycat, kind of needed to shield for his Blink, but now that he died, when he was dying, he was like, I'm done, I'm getting a Midas. He started buying it before he died, and he got a Midas now. We have a Midas Ursa now, because he didn't want to have this. He wanted to have a Blink, but because he died 2 times in a row when he was like 100 gold away, I think, both times, 100 to 200. Kind of that's what happened here. They want to go in mid, but I feel like Secret are quite well prepared.
Oh, Blink Skewer onto the Vengeful Spirit. KheZu, not with enough mobility to get in there for the heals or the GA or anything. Be a fast pick on the Vengeful Spirit.
I think if he RP'd that would not have happened as easily. I think if he... Oh, top lane, there's a healing more down though. Mid one is tanking because of that.
Purification still stolen by Biver. Healing Ward will get the Juggernaut into safety. TPs are still coming up towards top. Actually, a lot of heroes are converging up on the top lane. So Neko here, and they do actually see the Tusk come in because he's tracked up still, and they will also see Puppey on the incoming. This CM, maybe a little bit too bold, though, does cancel the Blink Dagger, so Active's Call kind of whipped. The ultimate from Puppey will do kind of just drive him away, I suppose. Shuriken bouncing through. KheZu gets a heal onto YapzOr. RP is pump faked once, but it'll be completely whiffed by Dendi. Where's the damage here from Secret? They're looking at General first. This axe is a tough kill, yet they're going to try it through the call. The armor is going to hold for General for right now. MP does have a swap back. Nova is there. General going to try to stick up. KheZu just getting in there with the degen aura will be a kill. In the meantime, top side, they went in pretty deep to kill off that bounty hunter, and mid one used the Omni Slash for that as well. Another great trade for Team Secret. Despite a kind of a rough early laning stage, they are definitely rallying now.
Yeah, playing really well. They're so positioned so well, like not leaving anything for Dendi. So Dendi kind of messes up, but it was not that it was very hard. Like he couldn't get a 2-man RP. He wants to Midas so badly. Will he die? I mean, like, there you're like, I want to use Midas, but I will die if I use it. And if you're someone like Envy, you'll probably do it.
Pycat is gonna get the Midas out eventually. Luckily for him, MP, because of that kind of slower start on the Vengeful Spirit, not yet with that level 2 ultimate, definitely would have killed the Ursa if she had that. Just, you know, wave him, swap him back in, done and dusted. It will be a nice push up towards top lane. Bottom lane tower will be destroyed as Dendi is going to start bulldozing that one down. But so we actually find the Rubik. He has swap stolen, but with the haste rune on MP, there's a very small chance of him getting to use that swap. He'll just be chased down by the Venge. Easy solo kill for MP. Easy tower destruction for mid one. Navi, despite having all of this Blink Dagger initiation, not going to phase Secret as they're going to go straight in for the tower. Navi are coming in from the south, probably prepping up for some tracks first of all, but not even coming in with everyone. Dendi is going to teleport back to the base because he's just empty on health and mana. Navi, I think, are going to lose this tower without any resistance whatsoever, although all the heroes are kind of getting into position. They're not in yet. They'll walk in, take a tower, walk out, and Navi have no response.
Yeah, Secret playing really well. They're not letting, while they're pushing 5 people mid as well, they're not really allowing Navi to split push because of they're pretty ready to counter as well. And I think they might have known that then they was kind of not in a position to fight. And you were just like, okay, we gotta be careful for the call. But other than that, we can kind of push aggressively, and that's what they did. And I wonder if Navi's ban is just to try and go late game now, because it's kind of been like you don't necessarily think like, oh, we're gonna go late, but I think they're not gonna look as aggressive as they did earlier, you know, when they kind of lost a lot of heroes in very short time. So Neko, they see him, right? They saw him at least.
Yeah, they saw him wander in. They think he's here. Neko's just laughing his ass off. He's placing observer wards in the back, and he'll get out to safety. But yeah, it does seem like Navi, they they can't really afford to take Secret in a fight unless they get the nuts initiation off. And if they get Puppey killed off like right now as CM's kind of wandering the jungle, then yeah, they could definitely get themselves to a position where they could just let this Ursa do whatever he wants, since now he also has that blink dagger. But as long as Secret are in reach of one another, it's going to be so hard
from
to.
Roche, though. This is a good play. I think this is gonna work out. They used the scan earlier as well from Secret, and now we're scanning now to make sure. This is a really good play. This is a great play actually. And they are smoking up Secret though, but he will get it before that. So if they bail fast enough, which I think they will, that's a lot of wasted time actually.
Blink out to the north, shards coming in a little bit too late. Secret still wants this Pycat Ursa dead. But he already got the experience, he already got the gold, so already quite a nice win. But now he's in a little bit of trouble. Blink dagger in 1 second. Not spotted. Mid one getting distracted by some neutrals.
He doesn't have a TP. No TP on Pycat.
Dust thrown out, doesn't land on the bounty hunter. He will get deep into the trees though.
No secret,
and now we have a wild goose chase. Secret, are they going to give up? I don't think they actually saw the Ursa. Do they know he has no TP? I don't know, but over in mid-bottom lane, action's happening. Dendi gonna try to skewer away. There's a snowball on his tail. Shards, again, perfect from YapzOr. They'll punch up Dendi, they'll purify him, and that'll put him in the grave. 47 seconds on the sidelines. At least it buys Pycat free access out of there, but yeah, I think for Navi, that's probably still the best they could hope for.
I don't think they're too dissatisfied with that from Navi. They kind of... I mean, then they died, so it's like, Secret was somewhat happy, but this was almost a tower taken down, and Navi definitely got the overall advantage there with getting the road. It also, not only does Ursa get a road, we can kind of play more aggressively, but it also denies Secret road, which is almost bigger, I'd say. So they're not as afraid of a big 5-man push that's gonna happen, that Secret kind of wants to do, which they've been doing for the last maybe 5 to even 10 minutes. They've been playing very 5-man heavy and reactively. So I don't think you're too sad about that. Magnus doesn't have like a Midas, and he's like dead with a Midas of cooldown and stuff like that, where you're kinda like, I don't like this that much. But they're just gonna group up now. They have a big advantage in the Aegis, and if they can manage to get a good initiation this time, I think they have a very good chance at taking an advantage.
Then he decided to... Oh,
He's standing on a ward though, general. This is not the greatest place to be.
Oh, jump in. Pycat's gonna find Puppey. Purification is there, plus the mechanism. They keep him alive for right now, but Pycat is gonna say no to that. He's gonna pop his ultimate. They also catch Vengeful Spirit in the call. Chop her head off. Immediately 2 down, and YapzOr's not in a great spot either. Trying to run away, but the clap is there, and the skewer back. You're not going anywhere. He's gonna try to snowball just to bide time. And YapzOr is going to be hit by his own shards, stolen by Biver. And that'll be a quick 3-kill for Navi, a real just slaughter. Secret have no response to. This is going to be a tower down, and that might just be it, because they don't really have that much tower pushing power. But finding, again, these heroes kind of wandering about in the jungle and picking them off one at a time, so easy for Navi, and they get the track gold from that as well.
Yeah, they actually understood the state of the game so well there when... kind of like I talked about in the drop, Secret kind of needed a teamfight hero in their last pick, but they didn't go a teamfight hero. They went this Venge. Oh, there's actually heroes close to each other. There's gonna be a dead Puppey.
Wop back onto General. They'll lose Puppey in the meantime. MP trying to go for this act, but the Purification actually misses. Still the Snowball is there, plus the Walrus Punch and Shards, which will capture Biver. Let MP go to work on that Rubik, but Ursa, he wants the Tusk. He'll take him down in exchange for that Rubik. MP. Dendi, Pycat, Saniko versus KheZu mid-1 MP. They're going to purify the Vengeful Spirit one more time. Deciding to pick a fight in the Shrine is kind of bold, especially when the buyback comes in from the Axe. He'll jump in, get the call onto the Vengeful Spirit. Repel is there, not going to help her all that much, especially when the RP comes in. That'll cost KheZu his life. MP not doing too hot either. Surrounded, is going to lose his head for the second time in as many minutes. Navi, buyback on General, and that catches Secret off guard. Well worth it for the Axe.
Yeah, a bit of a hard decision for General. Like, I want to buy back, and it's like you're gonna win the fight, but it's definitely worth it. Even though they don't kill as many as they would have wanted to, they definitely wanted mid one, the most of anyone. But I feel like then when you get this far behind, it's so hard to make it work. You know, if you had like a stronger single core in like maybe Medusa or something along those lines. Maybe even TA could be a better pick here. But Jagger, he needs a lot of items before it comes to strong single core, and he's not really going that item leader because he's queuing up a blink now. He's not getting a Bodify, he's not getting a Skade next, which is like the big make yourself as strong as possible. He's kind of going for pickup style, and Venge as a supportive carry does not suit that at all. So Secret are definitely struggling now in a place in the draft, and Navi realizes that as well, which is why they've been doing so well lately. Especially how YOLO Pycat has been, and his team doesn't really follow up either. They're kind of like standing and watching, you know, both Dendi and General.
See Navi also getting in on the split push, knowing that with these Blink Daggers, getting free pickoffs on Secret, again, separating them is extremely feasible. General is going to be jumped in on by YapzOr, quick Walrus Punch, and the shards to wall him off. He'll take barely any damage from any of that. He is going to get purged up. Omnislash will bounce through, plus the freezing field. Blade Mail will do very little here for the axe, as the rest of his team kind of abandoned him. YapzOr looking for more. Shards out just for a little bit of a scout. We have much needed pickoff here for Secret. Navi kind of get careless with their axe, but you know, losing the axe is not really a terribly huge deal right now. It seems, as long as they're able to still get farm elsewhere, and they are. Like this build from Dendi, the Magnus, is going for a plate mail item right now, but just with this Echo Saber, he is such a fast farmer and split pusher, and he will also be able to put out some significant damage onto, say, MP as the Venge. Get tracked up, and with Pycat coming in, MP gets Purify from KheZu. RP is there, catching KheZu as well. Mid1's going to do what he can, skewered back as well. They get the Guardian Angel off, and they will focus down Dendi, out of mana, and will be chased down with the Diffusal Blade for a kill. Clutch save there by KheZu, keeping Mid1 alive, and they'll look for the last TPing here. I think that was the Rubik. He's able to get it out of there alive. Ultimately trading the Venge for 2. Still a pretty decent trade for Team Secret, but that Venge was tracked up.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good response by Secret, especially because he was there instantly. Like, I didn't even see him being close, and then like suddenly he's there with a Purification, Repel, and then he managed to get a good RP though to kind of counter that, but it was not enough. I'm not sure if this skewer away was good decision or bad. It's kind of hard to tell what would have happened if he kind of left him close to Pycat, but it's really hard to tell if Pycat would have killed him. But because if he didn't skewer him away and Pycat didn't kill him before the backup came, that would have mean Pycat also died. So it was a pretty hard decision. I think that was like safer-ish. But Secret are kind of getting to a nice stage in this draft now. They kind of, as long as the opponent doesn't have an Aegis, I feel like they're in a pretty comfortable situation.
This is where their sustain comes into play with their siege power, though they do have to worry about getting jumped like this. Mid-1 already down to half HP. General's gonna get purged up, so we can't jump in just yet, although he will find it. They will get into a snowball, except for Puppey, left behind by his allies. Poor CM. They get the Walrus Punch onto the axe, starting to drop him low, but not quite low enough. Skewer onto YapzOr. He's in the middle of the fight. Spin is being stolen by Bibber, doing a lot of return damage. Mid-1 now, in his own spin, onto everyone, is being kept alive by KheZu. MP still at full HP, and Navi are crumbling, so Nico gonna be chopped down last. And that'll be a 4-for-2 exchange, as Mid-1 wants it 5. And with Bibber stolen the spin, Mid-1 still on his tail, getting kind of body blocked by his illusion, but he has a Blink Dagger. He has one more Diffusal Blade charge, and that should be just enough. Wave is there. They throw him away from Bibber, but a blink in. Oh, a crit. Okay. Gets Mid-1 a triple kill, and Navi get wiped. Mid-1 should be fine here, and yes, he will survive. MP will tank the tower. At least tank one of the towers. There's still a tier 1 here, by the way. That fight worked so well for Secret. Again, that snowball just buying valuable time for that call Dissipate.
Yeah, they didn't have RP, so when the snowball comes out to counter the call, there's no counter to the snowball because there's no RP. So it's a bit unfortunate for Navi, and maybe they should not have been as aggressive. They played the same way they did now as when they have an Aegis, because Ursa goes in, YOLO's his close ultimate instantly to try and burst, and this response, he forces responses from Secret. But the problem is that Navi has to react, because otherwise they will kill Ursa. While before, they didn't really care if Ursa died, because then they would counter, because Secret had to commit more. And are Navi chasing? The Sigil is so annoying though. I think the Sigil was actually the biggest factor in that fight for Secret.
And I'm actually surprised that KheZu still has Guardian Angel. It feels like a fight win like that almost needs a Guardian Angel to land for Secret, but able to get it done without it. Navi, it was an absolute mess. I mean, you're in a super tight cluster, and for Secret, it seems like that usually isn't going to really favor them, but spin from Mid-1, the amount of damage he's able to put out, the purifications, doing a lot of healing, obviously, but, you know, easily thousands of HP worth of damage because of how tightly clumped Navi are. You'd expect them to be able to win those tightly pumped fights, but right
is.
now Dendi's gonna get jumped. Has enough mana to secure out, but the Omni Slash is gonna follow him. Where are you at, Dendi? Mid one gonna chop him down for a monster kill. And now Navi losing the Magnus. I don't know if Secret can actually make anything happen off of this, but this game, it seems like despite all the turnarounds and all the team fights, it's still pretty much dead even.
Yeah, it's a very even game, like I hoped it would be. Like I said, I thought Secret had a slight advantage before we started, but Navi kind of already at the start kind of showed that this game is extremely even, and both teams kind of have weaknesses in their draft, but they're both exploiting each other's weaknesses quite well, and it's just been a lot of back and forth, you know, depending on what the state is. If Navi has a Aegis, or if they have like vision, and where is Bounty scouting is very important. How fast Secret's reactions are, which have been very fast so far this game. Both MP and KheZu and YapzOr as well with the Tusk snowball in the previous fight has been very fast to react, and then it becomes pretty hard for Navi to fight because they kind of really need to force something more from Secret, but Secret are kind of playing it well. Like they're swapping first, and then the snowball comes out. And then KheZu kind of waits a little bit if it's needed, but the other one will stay first. So it's like they're playing very coordinated, and it's not overkilling in any way.
They're just very patient about what they do in response to these Navi initiations. They're not jumping the gun Secret. They're not saying, okay, we're gonna start the fight this time and crush these heroes 5-on-5. They're saying, okay, Navi are probably gonna jump on this guy, so let's have Omni Knight here, Tusk here, and then we'll protect MP when he gets jumped. And it seems like that plan out pretty well so far. This time though, Secret gonna take the initiative. Will be a full 5-on-5. They may not expect all these Navi heroes here. Smoke will break. MP gonna wave in, will only clip onto Dendi. Still the swap is there onto Biver, and he will get caught by the shards. MP will work him down a little. Pycat's gonna come right in. The response is immediate as the Purification's gonna land onto MP. Snowball's there, but he actually gets a little bit of distance away with the Force Staff. That'll mean he's isolated. Mid one lands on the high ground. He's gonna jump down with the Omni Slash. Luckily for him, he will still have some game in this fight. Almost gets clipped again. KheZu though with the Shiva's Guard onto General in the wall off with the shards. Gonna keep Pycat in place. So much ice on this Ursa, and he will fall. General isolated off to the side. Snowball back in from YapzOr. Purified, shards, General, very, very tanky, and with the Blade Mail, trying to turn some damage to mid one, but the Healing Ward is going to trump that every single day. Now jumping forward, looking for Dendi. RP is going to land onto a couple of heroes. Pycat's going to jump in, but the Sigil overhead means that Pycat's doing no damage at all. KheZu's going to purify himself. He'll be just fine. Snowball in, looking for Dendi as Pycat and mid one go one-on-one. General's going to interrupt that, making the 2v1, but still mid one not done yet. Looking for Pycat with the spin. He's going to try to get the kill and then disengage. It looks like he'll be doing just that, as they will isolate General and Saneko both. These two heroes don't have that much damage. Mid one blinks to dodge the call. Gets KheZu a double kill, and now they're off to the south, looking for Saneko, trying to teleport out. Not going to happen. Triple kill for KheZu, and Navi lose so much there. That is an insane win for Secret. They kill off 7 heroes. They kill off 7 heroes, and they only lose the bench.
That was insane. I think did Secret straight up win the game? There's a lot of buybacks, but the other two does not have buybacks. So I am pretty sure they're getting at least 2 lanes of Rack here. There's no RP either. Oh, this is so hard to defend.
Well, mid one has his eyes on the mid racks. He will take it down, and Navi, they are gonna have to respect this swap from MP. Not level 3 just yet, but still, if he sees you, you're most likely not gonna get out alive. Biver is gonna be spotted by the wave. Actually, that didn't hit him. Never mind, I guess. They will still go in for this tower, and with this aura full power here from the Vengeful Spirit, they'll bulldoze mid, they'll bulldoze bot. Still 20 seconds left for Ursa and Axe to be back. It does seem like that was, I mean, not necessarily like a straight-up game-winning play, but that puts Secret into a position where it's almost unlosable.
Navi cannot make a single mistake now if they want to win this game. That's basically what the situation is, and if Secret doesn't make mistakes, it doesn't matter either. So Secret are gonna do the right thing. They're gonna contest Roche. Actually, they're kind of knowing. Oh, anyone is stuck. Secret knows what Navi wants to do, which is stop the Roche that Secret kind of wants to get. So that's why mid one ran up here, but he got stuck.
I don't think they know he's there, because why would he be there? Someone get him down, because KheZu, it looks like he's gonna start a fight here. They have a Force Staff on MP. Yeah, they just have a Blink Dagger on the Jug, so they will drive Navi back. But man, I mean, these effects, these slow effects from Secret are working overtime. You have the Shiva's Guard, the Aura, and YapzOr's Sigil is an absolute all-star, though YapzOr. We're going to see a couple heroes jump out of their MP. Slow on the retreat, will get tracked up for it, but still will survive. But once all these slow effects come into play, it seems like Navi just aren't doing any damage. Ursa got caught without Fury Swipes there, and without Fury Swipes, not doing any damage. And now Tusk has another tool to help them defensively, the Walrus Kick. I've seen this only once in a game that I've casted, and oh, it's gonna not help MP, is it? They're gonna jump him into the snowball, jump into the back line for the Juggernaut, full Omni Slash onto General. We'll bounce over to Sneeko a little bit as mid one is kind of separated from his allies, still looking for General, should get the kill. Freezing Field goes off onto the Magnus, gets the skewer back onto KheZu. Where's the backup here? Mid one is going to arrive really quickly onto Dendi, grab a triple for the team, and Pycat is off, fighting up YapzOr and MP. Not gonna win that exchange, and Secret just smashed Navi in 2 consecutive fights, and just like that, the game is over.
And that was perfect targeting by Secret. I think every hero targeted the exact hero they should have targeted. Mid one just blinked past and went on General instantly, and I mean they were not in a good position. And I want to mention this, that now we're kind of running a single core lineup with the Ursa. You know, it's kind of